good morning, and welcome once again to Breakthrough with Jeff. This is where we live life with zero limits. And this is an important lesson. This one is going to blow your mind. I mean, literally, breaking the lead of limitation above you, breaking all the limits. Now, there are steps that you can take, and some of you that are reading my book, Get Past Your Story, I would like to hear your views. Those that had the chance to read it yesterday, Get Past Your Limiting Story. Let me hear your views. When you go through the 5-step process outlined in the book, when you read about the problem and the process, the program and the promise, what is it that you get out of the book? Let me know through the comments. Let me know through an email. Shoot me an email. We want to make it better and better. But then the aim is not to better the book. The aim is to better your life. And so I realized that we are who we are because of the limitations, mental limitations that we put in our lives. And number one shift that must move is actually the limits of your standards, the standard of your thinking. The way you think will actually create your reality. And we begin to think this is the way life is supposed to be. No, those are just limits. You are living your limits. Your current life right now is a result of the limits that you have placed on your life. And it comes to a time where you make a decision. Decision equals destiny. You make a decision that I'm no longer going to be held captive to these limits. There are limits in our finances. There are limits. We set a limit of how much you can make. And that's why right now, if someone tells you how much they make, you think they are crazy because their limit is different in the area of, their finances. There are limits that you've put in the area of your relationships about what is possible for you, what you deserve, what you are worthy. We put those limits, and then those limits play out as a way of attracting people that treat us according to our limits. You can never get someone that treats you different than your territory, your limits in your mind. And so you get married to someone that just treats you according to your limits of love, limits of deservedness, limits of, emotional strength and emotional freedom. They'll give you the freedom you demand. Life is a fight for territory. And if you don't fight for what you deserve, what you don't deserve will take over. And you realize people are stepping on you. People are, using you. People are using you as a carpet in your relationship, and you sort of just treat it as normal. This is normal. This is the way people are supposed to live their life. And we have marriages where people are living in prisons, emotional prisons. You're treating each other like trash because you allow yourself to be treated that way because those are your limits. That's what you've put as the limitation of what you deserve. Unless you blow out the limits, and how do you do that? You don't do that by fighting. You do that by demanding, by expanding your thinking. People treat you according to your territory of your thoughts. As a man thinketh, so is he. You cannot be treated different than the way you think of yourself. We are the ones who make a decision about how we deserve to be treated. And so if you're in a relationship where you feel you're being treated unfair, if you're in a marriage where you feel, you're in a corner somewhere, the first thing is not to fight your partner or fight the people around you. Maybe the relationship is a corporate relationship. You have to change your mindset first. Don't fight like a fool. Fight like a warrior. Change your mindset. Change your thinking. Change the way you think first. Realign your thinking so that, you believe that you deserve the best and come from that place. That's the first thing. Raise the standard of your thinking. Raise the standard of your mindset. If you don't change your mindset, nothing else changes. You remain the same. Now, I've talked about the area of finances. I've talked about relationships. There's also the area of health. Now, the sickness, there are sicknesses we allow in our life because of our thinking. We allow, this is my sickness. It's just an experience you've gone through, and now it's your sickness. You need to stretch your thinking in a way that you allow more health than sickness in your life. And that way you begin to expand your life. You begin to enjoy life. And the third or the fourth area is our emotional mastery. We limit, put limitations on what we can experience emotionally. Now, there are people who the only thing they know is sadness, self-pity, guilt, shame. Those are the only emotions they know. Throughout the week, you're going through shame. You're thinking shame. You're thinking, are driven by thoughts of shame. And so you cannot be different unless you shift your thinking. Thinking is the way to your freedom. You have to change the way you think for you to change your destiny. You have to change your mindset for you to change your destiny. So look at your emotional life. You're being given, God is giving you a reflection, a mirror of where you're living your life from. Emotions reveal our quality of thinking. The quality of your emotions equals the quality of your thoughts. And so you're being told, if always you're feeling ashamed of yourself, before you do something, you feel ashamed of yourself. You question yourself so much, even before you get to the court. You defeat yourself before you present yourself. This is the moment to begin to redefine and stretch your emotional abundance, your emotional wealth. How about, have you ever experienced joy unlimited? Have you ever experienced peace? There are emotions like, intelligence. Have you ever felt intelligent? Have you ever felt powerful? Have you ever felt enough, complete? These are emotions that most of us, think they're just writings on a book. They could be your experience if you raise the standard of your thinking, raise the standard of your thoughts, and you affect these areas of our lives, our relationships, our finances, our emotional life, our health. And another area is your personal development, how you stretch yourself, how you make room for another person to help you, to listen to you, a coach, someone to coach you because of your thinking. Some people can never think of having a coach because they have never thought of stretching their life beyond their current mindset. Because having a coach is like having two brains and, one life, thinking about two brains, thinking about one life. And so you begin to stretch your life, you begin to increase your life and begin to see things differently, begin to see life differently. That happens from the level of your mind. Okay, let's go to the second one. The second one is surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with people who dream big. Don't surround yourself with smallness and expect yourself to prosper. Don't surround yourself with people who are just talking nonsense. You need to surround yourself with people who challenge your greatness. People that when you go there, you're stretched. You want to surround yourself with greatness. And you begin to dream bigger. Dream bigger. This is the way you break your limits. Have you ever thought that you can live, in a certain estate in this country, in whatever country you are in? Have you ever thought you can be the CEO of your organization? Stretch your dream. Come on now, don't just dream of the small dream. Stretch your dream, stretch higher. You don't have to remain the same. You can dream bigger. And the bigger you dream, if you're comfortable, if you dream and you're still comfortable, you're not dreaming big enough. I want you to dream big until you begin to shiver. You begin to shake because the dream is so huge. It requires external, help. It requires God for you to achieve it. That's how you know you're dreaming big. But if you're dreaming something you're comfortable, something you can do without, anyone's help, without God's help, you're not dreaming big enough. If what's your dream for your finances? How big have you ever dreamt? How big have you ever dreamt? Have you ever dreamt of earning $1 million a month? How big have you ever dreamt? Have you ever dreamt of how big have you ever dreamt? In terms of your finances, how big have you ever dreamed in terms of your health? Have you ever dreamed of having consistent, energy throughout the day, throughout the week, consistent high peak energy? Have you ever had that dream? Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And the dream is to change the world so that people are treated by, the content of their character, not the color of their skin, because that is small thinking. If you can treat someone, according to the color of their skin or according to their tribe, then you're thinking small. This is time to dream big. This is time to expand your vision. Which area of your life, if you stretch it, if you had the courage to stretch it a little bit, your life would change totally? Is it your finances? Is it your relationships? Is it your emotional life? Is it your personal development? Is it, your health? Which of these areas, if you only dreamed bigger than you're dreaming right now, your life would change? This is how we stretch the limit. We expand our capacity and realize we are different people. Let me tell you, when people put this, thoughts, expand their thoughts, stretch their dreams, their mind is blown away by what is possible. You can literally create miracles. You can create worlds. You can create something that never existed. You can be a new person that you've never been if you give yourself permission. And the thing is, we are seeking permission from other people for greatness. People will never give you permission to be great, especially if it is someone who is benefiting from your weakness. There are people who are benefiting from your being weak. And so they'll never set you free because you're meeting their need for security. Every time you're weak, that's how they are strong. And so never ask for permission, especially from your loved one. They never give you permission to be great. But this is why they love you the way you are. They love you in your weakness. They don't love you in your strength. And that's why when you begin to grow, when you begin to be stronger, some people will fall out. Weak-minded people will begin to fall out the moment you have a strong mind. They cannot stand that. But then that's your opportunity to connect with strong minds. Don't fall down. Raise higher. Raise the standard. Every time you grow, some people will fall out because they cannot handle that. You are meeting one of their needs. You are meeting their need for security, because unless you are there in your weakness, they feel insecure. If you're there in your weakness, they feel secure because you are a point of reference about how strong they are. When you're not there, they have no point of reference. They feel powerless. And so sometimes you have to be a Joseph and build yourself in the secret place. Don't just expose yourself. That's what Joseph did. Exposing yourself, even to people, there are some dreams you don't even tell people you love. You want them to see it fast. Because some people will oppose it. They may be your brothers and sisters, but sometimes you need to choose your inner circle. You cannot choose your mother, but you can choose your inner circle. You can choose who influences you. You can choose your coach. You can choose the people in your inner circle. Okay, let's go to the third point. Condition your mind for success. Now, remember, I've always said in this show that we are the way we are today because of our past programming. You have been programmed to be poor. You have been programmed to think poverty. That's why today, if someone picks you and takes you to beautiful place, the first thing is you will feel you don't deserve it because you've not been programmed for that. We always resist what we've not been programmed for because it's out of our comfort zone. Your program is your comfort zone. The reason all of us need a coach is you can only operate in your comfort zone. Unless you get someone that believes in you, that pushes you outside your comfort zone, that believes in your potential, You'll always play a game that is limited by the confines of your comfort zone. You'll always play a game of your programming. We are like robots. You've been set by you've been conditioned to be a certain way. You've been conditioned to be a slave, emotional slave in relationships. You've been conditioned to accept a low version of relationship. You've been conditioned. You ask me, Jeff, how come I can't move from this heartbreaking relationship where I know that my energy is being sucked? There's nothing I'm getting out of this relationship. It's all about giving. It's toxic relationship. This person is abusive to me and I can't get out. Why? It's because you've been conditioned to be a slave. Unless you change your conditioning, unless you change your past conditioning. And how do we get conditioned? We get conditioned by watching our mothers treated a certain way, our fathers treated a certain way, listening to them on the way they treat money. They talk about money as if money is something that only a few, and our family doesn't deserve to have it. We condition ourselves that way so that even though you get a job, you don't know where your money goes. Your money, you cannot actually account for the money. You're getting a lot of money, but it goes somewhere, you don't know where. It's because you're conditioned to be poor. Even if you get the CEO job and you're earning 6-7 figures, you will still be poor unless you change your mental programming. And this, you're responsible. This, no one else is responsible for shifting this. You cannot delegate your mindset shift to someone else, because people primarily are concerned about their own destiny. People have enough problems. Remember, the person, if you're in an abusive relationship, the person abusing you is also conditioned, has a preconditioned mind. They have been conditioned to be an abuser. They don't know anything else. If they knew better, they would act better, they would be better. The program, they've been programmed. Maybe they were raised up in this family where the dad would abuse the mom and or they were abused by their parents or abused by their uncle, and so they've been programmed for abuse. And that's why if you're a young person, before you get married, really you need to understand and know the person you're getting married to. Study them. What is their history? What is their family? Visit them. How do they treat each other? How do they work with each other? Ask them about their past, because this past programming is what you're living. You can't get anything that you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. You give what you are. You give what you are. Okay, so you look at the programming, that's why we make the shift. Now, the reason why we do coaching is we help people shift their programming. That's why we say get past your story, because your story is your programming. Your story about money is the way you've been programmed to think about money. Your story about love is the way you've been programmed to think about love. That, you have to work hard to get love, to earn love. You have to sacrifice. You have to persevere. There are some of us who even believe, they've been programmed to believe that for you to earn love, you really must suffer. And so if you're not suffering, you think something is wrong with that guy. And so you move from one relationship to another, and now you have a nice guy who treats you nice, and you're like, something is wrong with this. And so you mess up the relationship just to prove your programming. We do anything as human beings to stay consistent with our programming. Everything. That's why pick a girl that has been raised and programmed for abuse. Give them the perfect guy that treats her like a queen. The girl will always demand from the king to be treated like a slave. And that's the way they'll be treated. The king, without knowing, will just be responding to your energy. You're calling, we call people to treat us this way. Treat me this way. This is who I am. Treat me like a slave. Abuse me. And this is it. If you don't change your programming, you continue to be abused. Even though you move to another relationship, you take on the abuse, you take on the enslavement, unless you free yourself. Freedom must be demanded. freedom must be demanded. You must demand your freedom. It's never given. That person will not give you their freedom. The abusers don't give you your freedom. You have to demand it. And sometimes you are the abuser. Sometimes you abuse so much, you become your own self-abuser. So that even when God gives you a breakthrough door, you don't take it because you've been crippled, emotionally crippled. Raise your standard. That's the point number one. Raise the standard of your thinking. Think of yourself differently. And then number two, raise the standard of your dreams. Begin to dream crazy. Begin to dream bigger. Begin to dream bigger than yesterday. Begin to dream bigger for your health. Create a dream that will scare the hell out of you. Create a dream that is inconsistent with who you are. Create a dream that is inconsistent with where you're staying right now. Don't just create a dream that is just environmental dream. Create a global, world-rocking kind of dream. A dream that will change the planet. A dream that influences people. A dream that changes their mindset, their way of thinking. Raise the standard of your dream. Let's go to number three. Aim higher. Okay, number three, condition your mind. That's what we say. So number one is raise the standard of your thinking. In fact, I've written the points there. So, if I'm talking too fast, you can get it. Raise the standard of your thinking. The way your think creates the patterns, the programming of your life. And then number two, dream bigger. Raise the standard of your dream. And then number three, condition your mind for success. Redefine your limits, stretch them by creating bigger goals, bigger dreams. And then number four, do something that is inconsistent with your current identity. Do something. This is how we change ourselves. You don't just change the way you think. If you've been trying to change the way you think and it's not working, this is my advice to you. Take an action that is inconsistent with who you are right now. Let's say you define yourself as a lazy person. I want you to take an action that is the opposite, an action that will blow the mind of your lazy self. Let's say you see yourself, as a people pleaser. I want you to take an action that is the opposite of that. Stand your ground, prime yourself, raise your chest, feel confident, go out, show up. Tell people your mind. Tell people the truth, what you believe. Show up strong. Then you begin to redefine your identity. You begin to redefine your self-image, the way you look at yourself, by taking action. Action is the path to actually shattering down the previous programming, the past programming, the identity, the way you see yourself. There are identities that can never give you the life you deserve. If you see the identity of a slave, there are people who see ourselves as slaves, the identity of a loser, there's an identity of a warrior. I want you to begin to think like a warrior, feel like a warrior, get the warrior mindset, get the warrior dream, get the warrior relationship, get the warrior condition, your warrior mind, and you begin to see change in your life. My friend, change is possible, but it can only take you. The only thing that you can take, one of the things that you can take out of this conversation, things are going to change only when you change. And if you want to change, the first thing is to change yourself. And changing yourself begins by changing the way of thinking. Change the way of thinking. Raise your dream. Create bigger dreams. And from there, condition your mind. Condition your mind over and over and over and over on a daily basis. Look at your patterns, daily patterns, because your mental conditionings, they are reflected through your daily patterns. If you are lazy, then your conditioning is you wake up in the morning, put the blanket on the other side, go for it again. That's conditioning. The first thing that I did to recondition myself and become the person I am today, one of the simplest thing I did was, when you wake up, you just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm out. And I'm out to exercise. Peak state immediately. That's how warriors live. You begin from a peak state, prepare for the battle. Live this life like it's a battlefield, so that if something comes to you, you jump, you get on the other side. If someone throws an energy, a vibe that is negative vibe, you're able to raise your standard because you're strong enough. And so I wake up, the first 5 seconds, I'm out, skipping and exercise for a straight, 30 minutes. Then I have a cold shower exposure. Cold shower, not warm shower, because I think warm shower really is for weak people. It's not for strong. Why should I have a warm shower? I have cold shower exposure, and that actually helped me, healed me of asthma. Heal me. I used to wheeze, and all the time you're weak and wheezing and wearing all these heavy jackets. I became free. I freed myself. If you're waiting for a doctor somewhere to free you, you're going to wait for so long. It has to begin in your mind. Your healing is in your mind. Your finances, the limitations are in your mind. That land that you dream of is in your mind. That house, that relationship, that love experience where you're treated like a queen, you're treated like a king, you deserve the best in life, is in your mind. Do not demand from people what you don't believe you deserve. Come on, treat that. Do not demand from people what you don't believe you deserve. But when you believe you deserve it, you don't even, you lay a demand immediately by changing the way you think. Thank you so much. Stay blessed, stay with passion, live with passion, and stay at zero limit. God bless you. Stay strong. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear if you're here, kindly share this with someone. Share this video with someone. If you're listening, you're benefiting, and you think, oh, there's a thought, something was, triggered in my mind. Share this with someone that can benefit. Let me tell you, you're growing when you can give. That's how you know you're growing. You're growing when you can give. If you can't give to anyone, including sharing, there are people who just get something nice and they digest and move on. Let me tell you never grow. You're still a baby. You're just being spoon-fed by others, but you never feed anyone. If you cannot, do a program like I'm doing, you can actually do the program I'm doing by sharing it to someone. Tell them, have you seen this? If you've read my book, share the link to someone. I mean, this book you can purchase with M-Pesa, on M-Pesa, and get the book, get all this knowledge downloaded, and you can wake up every morning, spend 10 minutes reading, come share with us. We are going to spend so much time here. It's my commitment to, help as many people as possible, interact with so many minds online, and to really just come from a place of service. So if you want to serve, share this with someone, let them know, and you feel good when you share, when you're not just a taker, you're also someone that actually serves this world. Thank you, and God bless you. Well done, Jeff. Thank you so much. Thank you, and God bless. Please share this with someone.